Hello everybody! Welcome to Foxman Plays. Oxygen not included. This is a game by Clay. They did the Don't Starve Together. What's that one? Mark of the Ninja? Then they had that, what was that, like, spy espionage one? Oh golly. No, they've got a nice suite of games, and this is one I've kind of had my eye on for a little while now because it's very RimWorld-esque, and as some of you may know, I enjoy RimWorld, which is actually returning to my channel right around the same time as this. So, yeah, hopefully this game slash RimWorld will make me better at these types of games in general. I'm not saying I'm bad, but there's always room for improvement. But I do think, from what I've seen and what I've played thus far of Oxygen Not Included, which, I mean, I've only probably put a total of an hour or two into this, you know, it's a game about prioritizing, right? Starting with very little, and you're trying to survive and all that stuff, so performing certain actions at certain points in time, you know, it's important to understand what is important in that moment and what will be important later on. So I think by having played RimWorld, that might help a little bit. But we'll see. I could be completely wrong. Anyways, it's a game I'm very much looking forward to playing and learning how to play. So I hope you guys are like, yeah, let's do it. And I will note before I get into this is, you can see it's a development build, and when we get into the actual game, we're going to see kind of a development build number up top in the center. But it's down here right now, but I think in the game it's up top. You can actually buy this though. Now, by going to the Steam page, it looks like you can't buy it. You have to go to the subreddit, the Oxygen Not Included subreddit. I think it was like a pinned thread, you know, at the top. You click it, and then it contains a special link to the actual purchasable game in Steam. So it's kind of like, I guess they don't want to in a way, too many people playing it right now. It's like they only want people that are dedicated enough to kind of go on the little witch hunt to find it. So, you know, I'm okay with that. I'm definitely interested in the game, so I went and did that, and many other people are playing this on YouTube as well, and they've done the same. Anyways, I'm gonna start a new game. I deleted my, you know, really crummy colony that I started that was poor. Hopefully I've learned something from that, but let's just go. Look at this guy. Ah! Where's my oxygen going? Ah! It's like when you buy a toy and you're like, no, batteries aren't included. You go to the store, you get home, and you're like, oh, it doesn't have the batteries, and then you gotta go get more batteries. This is a big pain in the butt. So this is kind of one of the things you'll probably notice if you have played RimWorld that's a bit similar. Just the well, in this game they call them duplicates. The colonists, or whatever you want to call them. These people, they're the duplicates in this game. And they have attributes, they have traits, and there's additional info about them. So these are important. These attributes directly correlate to the various actions and things that we need to perform in the game. So you kind of want to, I guess, probably spread them out a little bit. Like, you don't want to have 3 starter duplicates that are all really, really good in cooking, but nothing else. Maybe, I don't know. Once we get deeper into the game, maybe that's a very viable and awesome strategy. I don't know, but from somebody who knows very little about the game and is just trying to kind of find the logic of it, I think it makes sense to try and cover off these attributes a little bit to make the early game a bit more survivable. And when we hover over these things, it tells you exactly what that attribute does. So the athletics attribute determines a duplicate's movement speed. And at first I was like, well, that's silly. Like, okay, they can just kind of run back and forth from one room to the next quicker. Which, is actually, I think, you know, fairly important. But I think it might also help a little bit with power generation. They basically have a giant hamster wheel. For early game, you're manually generating the power in a giant hamster wheel. So I'm not sure, but I almost think it, by having a higher athletics and speed, you can generate power more easily. I don't know if that's true or not, but I like to think it is. And you know, cooking attribute determines a duplicate's food production speed. You know, digging, we have to dig. You're gonna see all of this stuff. These attributes are pretty simple and broad. So yeah, what was the tinkering one though? Determines the duplicate's efficiency when operating machinery. Okay. So we can shuffle. We can give names. We'll give names after. As well, they have a positive and negative trait. So duplicate's sharp as attack and picks up new skills with amazing speed. So learning +5, which is, you know, pretty sweet. And the negative, narcoleptic, duplicate can and will fall asleep anytime, any place. So, you know, you could be in the middle of doing something awesome, and you're like, great, and then all of a sudden he falls asleep. It's not super reliable. Night owl duplicate does their best work when they ought to be sleeping. Mouth breather duplicate sucks up way more than their fair share of oxygen. Their consumption rate +100 grams per second. So that's actually an important thing. In a game like RimWorld, oxygen you don't think about. You don't think about drinking water either, or going to the washroom. You do have to produce and consume food to keep your colonists happy there, but oxygen's a non-issue. And here in this game, it's a very big thing. I mean, it's in the title too, oxygen not included. So it's pretty interesting how they've done it, and I quite like it from what I've seen thus far. Gastrophobia, the duplicate has an unshakable fear of kitchens, and the culinary arts cannot perform job cook, which is really silly when they've got a cooking of +4. So you really need to look at this stuff, because you might pick, oh, Gabriel, you got great cooking, I need somebody who's able to cook, right? Oh, by the way, he won't cook. So basically, I would consider re-rolling him if he didn't have anything else good. But, you know, strength and athletics, that's pretty decent. And what does Trinkletoes? Light as a feather on their feet, athletics +7. So, where he normally would have had 0 athletics, this trait gives him +7. And it's the same with the quick learning, right? Normally he would have had 0, but having that trait gives him +5. So I'm definitely going to shuffle you. Athletics -5. Wow. Is the exact opposite of an athlete. You do cooking and night owl. Not that great though, like. Also, they have the stress response. I'm not really looking, but like, there's a stress level in the game. So when somebody gets too stressed, you know, how do they deal with that stress, right? Well, this person vomits. This person's destructive, so takes out the frustrations on defenseless machines. I can't talk. I apologize. But cooking strength, cannon fall asleep. You know, we'll see. So, since we only got 3, and we're not going to get all of these attributes covered, I would like somebody who's good with learning, because learning is how we increase our research speed. We need to research a lot of stuff that's going to make our life easier. So I kind of want to get research going nice and early. I mean, he has some research, but she's only creative, right? She's kind of a one-trick pony. So I'm going to reroll. Reroll. That's not too shabby. They're all narcoleptics. Let's see. Digging is always good. Learning. Nobody. Well, you can do cooking. Okay. You can do learning. You can do medicine. You can do tinkering. And what am I really missing out on? Construction, not great. think that's pretty much it. He can dig and learn. She can cook. She's creative. Construction, athletics. Yeah, we pretty much have everything covered off. The only thing is, you know, if he's learning, he's not digging, right? And these guys aren't, they'll do it, but they're not going to be good at it as compared to him. So, you know, but that's okay. I think this is okay. They are all narcoleptic, so that could suck. But you know what? Whatever. And we can rename these dudes. I get to be one. I mean, neither of these look like my mouth bay. And this doesn't even really look like me. But this one, she's got Mystique. Mystique does have blonde hair. And, you know, her name starts with an M, just like Maya. I don't know what to do. I mean, I will say Maya doesn't have the same skin color. But I like these. What I'm gonna do... Okay, this is gonna be Northern Lion, though. Little Mickey Mouse ears. What I'm gonna do is actually, I'm gonna remove this from me. No, I'm okay with this guy being me. But I'm gonna wait till we're gonna get more duplicates. So I'm gonna find one that's better and more suitable to Maya. So Maya, I hope you don't mind waiting. Please don't hurt me. Name your colony, the Not So Rocky Factory. What? Let's see a couple more random ones. The Delicate Dwelling. No, F that. Foxden. Foxden. I shouldn't have even hesitated. It's the Foxden. So let's go. Oh man, I just realized I don't have like tea or water or anything to drink. Bad move, bad move. Alright, alert! Your crew is awoken miles beneath the surface of an unfamiliar terrestrial body. Obviously, they have no recollection of how they got there. It might be best to start digging. Boom. Just first and foremost, a couple, you know, basic things I picked up in terms of shortcuts. Spacebar is gonna pause the game. Tab will change the speed up here. Toggle red alert. What else? Oh, we're panning around, WASD, or you can use your mouse. You know, click and hold right click or the scroll button. And then there's like hotkeys for all these guys. So if I press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, so on and so forth. And then as well, there's shortcut for these dudes. So if you play this game and you play it a lot, I'm sure you're gonna want to make use of some of these shortcuts. It's a lot easier than clicking. So, but we'll get into all that stuff later. First, I need to take a look at what we're dealing with. Basically everything that we see is mineable or diggable, harvestable. And it affects us in some way or another. So the oxygen is when I hover over, you can see what it is, right? So this is oxygen. In this square, there's 879.3 grams of oxygen, which is a breathable gas. It tells you the temperature, and it tells you like the status, I guess. So this amount of oxygen, 879.3, is breathable. If we had like 87, then that's too little oxygen. I think 87 in this game would be too little oxygen. I don't know if there is any, but you can see that's breathable. That's quite breathable. 2000, I mean, that's very breathable. Let's see if we can find some more. There, well, this is different. Carbon dioxide. It's unbreathable, and there's 1,000 grams of it, which is definitely unbreathable. But there are a couple pockets of oxygen in there, which are breathable. More carbon dioxide. So we're gonna see all this stuff, and once we if we dig our way through this, liquids and fluids will kind of start to merge together. So we might end up, you know, say there's a lot of oxygen in here, but if we find a vacuum, this is a vacuum, here you go, there's nothing in there. So if we connect these, then the oxygen gets spread out over a larger space, and that means in any given cell there's less oxygen, and that might bring it down to a point where it's not breathable or just, you know, barely breathable. Basically, your colonists are gonna be like, dude, I'm choking here. Yeah, more carbon dioxide. There's another vacuum. Lots of vacuums. And these worlds are procedurally generated, so it's kind of like, if you really don't like what you got, you can start another one. That's, you know, that's okay. And don't let me tell you how to play the game. This nice substance here is water, which we're gonna need water for stuff. And again, it'll flow into spaces, as I guess you would expect it to. And then when we're hovering over all these different materials, these hard materials, we've got algae here, which you're gonna see how that's used. Sand, there's dirt, there's sandstone, there's oxalate, which is actually an ore that emits oxygen. And if I click on any one of these things, we get more information about it. The actual mass, you know, still the temperature, what it's doing. So it's basically half a gram, well, not half a gram, almost 5,000 milligrams of oxygen a second, which is 5 grams of oxygen a second. And then, you know, it tells us some more information about it. There's the chemical compound, increases oxygen emissions when excavated, but loses mass and depletes more rapidly. So it's pretty cool, and we can click on anything. And there's more details too. It's pretty cool. And I don't know. I'm gonna make the assumption that a lot of the stuff is based in real science. Like, that's maybe the real thermal conductivity of sandstone in real life and the specific heat capacity. I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, that kind of stuff is on Wikipedia these days, or, you know. We've got copper. There's fertilizer in here. We'll probably find some coal. And there's coal. There's coal. All right, more dirt. There's various things. And then we get kind of closer to the edges. We get some more dangerous stuff. There's contaminated oxygen and water. There's different materials, harder materials. We got igneous rock and granite, obsidian. And we can't really see it now, but we'll see some kind of like crazy crystals and maybe critters and all this kind of stuff. So it's, you know, it's cool. But I haven't made it far enough to really like get into digging out those materials and using them. So it's going to be as much a surprise to me as it may be to some of you. And there are plants that we can harvest and use for various things. So I'm just going to kind of get into it. I'm going to play it to the extent of my knowledge right now. I'm going to suck at it. That's okay. I'm going to learn, and then the next time I play, I'm going to do a little better. Next time I play after that, a little better. You know how it goes. I'm always trying to learn, trying to improve. So if you have been putting some time into this game, please let me know. But anyways, let's actually play, for crying out loud. I am going to pause just quickly again, though, so I can observe what I'm going to do. First of all, I need to kind of clear out some rooms and have different workspaces. I'm thinking this guy is kind of relatively... I mean, there's some oxygen. You can see here there's only 18 grams, so it's unbreathable. That's pretty much useless. But if we clear out this copper, which we're gonna want to use for some stuff, we're gonna use this dirt. Definitely gonna use the algae. I think this is gonna be a pretty decent area to kind of set up beds and set up maybe just like early power production and try and get a lot of stuff concentrated, because as I mentioned, if we try to dig out too much, it's going to be hard to keep the oxygen levels high. So if we have a smaller room and we get some oxygen producing machines, they won't struggle as much to keep it oxygenated. So what I'm going to do is I can click this little dig button, or I can press G, which I'm going to be doing a lot for the shortcut because I use it often enough. And we're going to start to just dig out. So let's just start like this. I'm going to want to dig out this and this. Actually, I'll dig out that. And then we're going to want to dig out all this. So let's hit play. This guy's producing some oxygen, which is nice. Now, if we open this up, some oxygen would come out, but we'd also get a lot of carbon dioxide, which I don't necessarily want. And when we mine this stuff, or dig it, it's going to drop into these clumps on the ground. So we can sweep up to clean them. You can see they can't get down right now. They can hop up and get down 2 blocks, but not 3 blocks. So we're going to dig this guy out for now to let them do that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to dig that out as well. When we dig out this one here, you're going to see a symbol like a landslide under this item. Basically, it's going to be unstable. So we're going to want to put a piece of floor under that. And we can use these tiles, which are used for both walls and floors. I'm going to do that quickly. 'Cause, you know, we don't want this, you know, falling or whatever. I don't know if it can. I guess it would for sure if we took out this other foundation. And yeah, they have these guns. They're kind of multi-purpose. Another game this might remind you of if you played Fallout Shelters. You know, the vaults and stuff like that. But yeah, they have these guns that are kind of multi-purpose. Which is pretty cool. So now, they can't really very easily get up and down. So what I'm going to do is build a ladder. And of course they're going to build the ladder with their guns. And in a minute here, I'm going to build some storage containers right there, so they can actually start putting some of the stuff in, because, you know, it's going to stress them out, or they just won't be happy seeing all this kind of stuff laying about. It's pretty messy, right? You wouldn't want to live with that stuff. Malf, what are you doing there, buddy? One thing I do want to do actually is I want to keep this floor kind of consistent. So I'm going to start building some of that like that. And I just wanted to mine this stuff out because the algae is pretty important. It is going to be nice to get the copper and to have some of the dirt stuff as well. Mystique is kind of up there. Gotta be careful. Yeah, these guys are doing this. For the first night, I think they're just going to sleep on the ground. I will build them some cots, though, so they'll be a little more comfortable in the future. But first, I kind of want to get just like a basic room kind of set up. So we'll see how that goes. And this is not going to be like... This room is not going to be kind of set in stone, if you know what I mean. Oh, these guys are going to fall. Ah! Idiots. We're gonna be moving this stuff around, but again, we need to kind of get a nice starter room going before we research other technologies and move stuff around. So that's fine. That's okay. At least that's my intent. Maybe it's a bad idea, but is what I'm doing. So you can see too some of the stuff that's on the ground. They're picking it up and using it like a tile. When we click it, uses wall and floor taught to build rooms, affects run speed plus 50%, which is definitely important. So you don't need to do this, but I mean, you know, the run speed is cool, and it increases the decor, which will make them happier. Duplicates find these tiles easier on the feetsies, like little hobbits, than jagged bedrock. And the material is 200 sandstone. So there you go. So now we got some more of this stuff. Let's quickly bring it across there. Now we don't want to dig. Eventually, when we get filtration and stuff like that, contaminated water, I think we'll be able to filter that, and that'll be fine. But for now, we want to avoid that because we do not have the technology to clean it. Another thing I'm going to try and do standard is have the rooms be 4 tiles high, kind of like this. This is 4 tiles high. I'm not sure, but in all the stuff that I researched in my other, you know, kind of practice run, is this water in there? No, that's oxygen. Okay, sweet. Nothing was taller. No machines were taller than 4 blocks. Also, by removing this little block here, we're going to be revealing one more block of the oxidite, which at some point I'll mine and get rid of this once I'm producing enough oxygen myself, but for now it's going to be helping us. And then this, you know, these 2 pockets of oxygen, that's going to help out. You can see it's barely breathable here. Since we've mined away a bunch of the stuff, kind of the oxygen is slowly spreading out, evening out. Although there seems to be more down here in some pockets. See how Northern Lion is holding his breath as well as mouth? It's because they're in areas where, you know, it's barely breathable. It's too unbreathable. So when they really run out, they'll kind of run back to an area where there is oxygen. Mystique is fine over here. As well, sand. It's kind of like Minecraft. When sand doesn't have something underneath it, it succumbs to gravity and just kind of falls. So we're gonna dig these dudes up. And what I'm gonna do for starters is just get a few storage containers going here, so they can start cleaning some of the stuff up. Oxygen, you can see it's slowly moving over here. It's a lot here. Slowly moving. So storage, it's very similar to RimWorld. You can say, you know, exactly what you want or what you don't want in a storage unit, and that's important, right? If you have a kitchen, well, eventually we can get fridge, a refrigerator, but a kitchen, as an example, you might say, well, I only want food or stuff that's used to make food in this storage unit, right? And then another area, you'll have completely different materials. That's up to you. Basically, you don't want your duplicates running very, very far to, and you can see Northern Lion, he's likes to fall asleep on the job. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, you don't want your duplicates running super far to have to go and get materials, because it's just going to make the job go longer. So he's sucking this stuff up. I think it's just to clean it up. But one thing I want to do, if I press K, which is the... Is that the hot... That's the hotkey for sweep. Just drag. I'm going to get them to clean up all this stuff. If they have nothing else to do, and there is storage, they'll do that. One of the overlays, I didn't show you the overlays, but priority overlay. So these, by default, priority of 5. The higher the number, the higher the priority. So everything's 5 by default, but we might say, you know, prioritize, you know, this action or that action. That's something that I need to understand, I guess, truly what is a higher priority. Now that they're all asleep, I'm just going to speed it up until daytime. But, they're barely breathing over here. Unbreathable. Northern Lion is just gonna wake up dead. Yep, nope, he woke up because he couldn't breathe. There you go, you dummy. Now they're awake. Just start to clean some of this stuff up quickly, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna need power to get more oxygen going, so the manual generator, and like I said, let's just move it over a bit more so we can get some more chests. It's like a big old hamster wheel. So we're going to do that. I'm going to do just a couple batteries right next to it. And then for oxygen, I'm going to get 3 of those guys. Now, what I'm actually going to want to do, I think, once we start clearing this stuff up, so I'll probably just remove this ladder for now, seal this off, so that the oxygen really is only going to fill this room. Let me check something, though. Pneumatic door. Encloses room without blocking the flow of gas or liquid. it looks like a screen door, essentially. So, that's not really what I want in this situation. I actually want, you know, I guess something that would keep the oxygen in a smaller space. But, research. So now they're eating out of our rations box, which is, you know, let's see the details. Field ration, 18 kilograms. So soon we're going to want to start making food. Also bathroom, which is a great thing. Let me go and build one. Oh, where is... Oh, it's under plumbing, right? Outhouse reduces stress and the spread of disease by regulating where duplicates relieve themselves. Requires no piping. I'm just going to put it kind of over here for now. I want to keep it away from this level. I gotta put the cot somewhere. Let's just go with... Let's see. Now, cots are under furniture, right? Although I guess I could put the cots... You know what? I'm actually going to sneak the cots down here. There seems to be enough oxygen. Yeah. So let's just go like that for now. We'll keep them far enough away from this, because this is going to emit some gas and nasty stuff. Also, basic controls. I am not... Yep. Colony management. Duplicates are generally self-motivated. Use the dig tool. Yep, got that. Duplicate movements. Accessible paths. Unsure tasks. This is contaminated water. Is yucky substance that emits contaminated oxygen and can cause disease in your duplicate. Small accidents can be cleaned up by clicking and dragging. Actually, I think that we just got some contaminated water because they didn't have a bathroom. They still don't have a bathroom. I did give them a shit ton of stuff to do. I probably should have said, like, no, just build this first. Uh-oh, mouth. He's having a bad time cleaning up all of Northern Lion's urine. These I did not do that. I'm just putting everything in them for now. Alright. Oh, he's so miserable. Well, at least they're all doing it, which is nice. Let's get rid of that. Let's build this bathroom quickly. That'd be cool. Okay, Northern Lion, he's doing some hauling. You know what? I'm going to go to priorities and set this guy to a... Oopsies. Priorities. I'm going to set him to a 4. Just so they build that first. So let's see who's going to tackle that. Is it going to be you, Mouth? I think he's got the extra construction. Maybe not. Oh, 4 is less. I went the wrong way. That's my bad. Because in RimWorld, 1 is the highest priority and 4 is the lowest priority. So that's something I need to kind of get used to, that little flip-flop there. It's all good. There you go. Now Mouth is indeed working on it. Mystique is, you know, doing that whole necro thing. Contaminated oxygen. Now that's from the contaminated water, which came from, I guess, them urinating. Now this guy should be a 6. Got 1 oxygen. We've got 1 battery. Really, the battery should not come before the actual generator. But it's okay. So with the outhouse too, they need to put dirt in it. The dirt gets contaminated, and then eventually they need to clean out the contaminated dirt. So I'm gonna want to have like a storage compactor. Maybe I should do that now before I forget. that only has the contaminated dirt, because it's going to emit some nasty gases. It should really be in its own room. But if we go to organic here, it will pop up, I think, once it's in there. I'm not sure why it's not showing it right now, but once we see these guys basically burping out gas, then you know they've got some something nasty in there. Alright. Let them finish up with this stuff that they're working on, and then I will connect it. It's not too tricky. We're just going to grab some electrical wire, and we've got another overlay for power. There's several overlays. There's oxygen overlay, which is very important. Temperature overlay, you know, light overlay, liquid plumbing, gas plumbing, and decor, and then we already saw the priority overlay. So they've got this little outlet. We're just gonna drag it down. I like to run it through the kind of the floor to keep it nice and tidy. So we're just gonna go like this, and then we're gonna drag up and get all this stuff connected. So the batteries are, you don't need a battery, but basically anytime you want power, somebody's gonna have to manually generate it. With the manual generator, we can generate excess power. It gets stored in the batteries, and then the dude or dudette can jump off the generator, and machines will still get power as long as these batteries have some stored up. So I think it's nice to get some going. And look at Mystique getting her run on. You can see the little green bar slowly filling up. Actually, let me check Mystique. What are your stats again? Athletics are 0. Well, I'm impressed. And now these guys are producing oxygen. So to do that, they need... where does it say the specific requirements? Well, it converts algae to oxygen, so you need to put at least algae into them. I thought there was a more detailed thing. Insufficient oxygen generation. Colony requires food source. 2 people are idle. Well, you know what? That's about to change, because we are going to get some food going. A microbe musher. I'm going to put this guy here for now. Again, everything, I'm trying to keep it kind of close-ish together, just so we don't have to manage too big of an area early on. This is going to be organic. We'll just say organic only. That's weird. Again, this is very, or you can see up top, development build. I'm not sure why it doesn't allow me to see other stuff. Like, basically, it's only showing me things that I have, I think, anywhere. So algae is something I have in one of these guys, so it becomes an option. So maybe once I have contaminated dirt, it will then pop up here, because I'm pretty sure that's where it gets stored under. Speed this up. Also, you can see these cycles. This colony is 2 cycles old. Time played, 0.59 hours. I don't really know what the end goal is. If it's to survive and then, like, leave, or just, like... But that's okay. I'm okay with not knowing right now. Right now, I'm just like... Yeah. Doing shit. We're going to connect that up, but... We're also going to get a research station going. You know, I'll just put it right beside. Okay. Electricity... Here we go. Nice and simple. Actually, we'll get this built or planned out. So this micro mushroom basically is going to be a way of making food. And one of the foods that we're going to be... Oh, look at this guy over here. What are you? Puffed? Chilled? Consuming contaminated oxygen. Whoa, that's badass. Maybe someday I'll fight him. Yeah, basically, once we got power connected, there's different recipes. We got this mush bar, an edible putrefied mud slop, preferable to starvation, but only just barely. So the ingredients are dirt, and bottled water. So yeah, and you can see it may cause diarrhea, the mud butt. And then lice loaf is meal lice compacted into a dense immobile loaf. So you need meal lice and bottled water. So we are going to want to make sure we have access to a water source. So I will do that. You know what? We can just dig down like this, build a ladder, and then they should be able to access the water off of the ladder. So I really don't have to do too much work. Oxygen here is it's good. See, and that's what I was saying. To reiterate, it's important to try not to do too big of an area, because then that's more oxygen you need to produce, and more oxygen you need to produce means we need more algae, and we might not have a ton of algae, we might have to go very far to get it, and blah blah blah. This is a nice room of algae, but there's also the carbon dioxide. So if we go in there, we're gonna kind of want to seal it off, I think, at a point too. I want to keep the oxygen in there. Let's just select this mush bar, and then we also have to hit fabricate. I'm gonna get a bunch of those, let them build what they can. And then research, we need to open the research. So you can see our little tree here. It's split up into the farming. We've got gas piping, liquid piping, power regulation, and interior decor. I'm actually gonna start, I think, with... I want to get power regulation and then get combustion. And the reason I want to do that is so that we don't have to have somebody constantly running. We'll need to mine or dig out the coal, but I think that's just going to be something we naturally do as we expand. And it's going to free somebody up so they can actually, go do other stuff like research or construct. Basically anything other than just sitting in a wheel producing electricity. So we got to work towards that. So let's select that, and then I'm going to exit out of here. And then I have to select the recipe, novice free. This is kind of weird. You have to select this like it's a recipe, and then you have to hit fabricate. But to conduct the research, we need dirt. So I guess in a way it is research. And what's this guy's problem? Doesn't have access to the water yet. That was part of the recipe. So it's given us that little sign. Insufficient resources, water, 75 kilograms. Well, we'll finish building this ladder, then they can dig this out, and then we can extend the ladder a little bit more. Should then be able to get the water going and then get the food going, because they're going to run out of rations pretty soon. Pretty soon. Taking a poo there, Northern Lion? That's pretty quick for you. Now, we can click this, and we can say clean toilet. Because if we don't clean it, I think that leads to it breaking. So you kind of rather do it when you have control over it, rather than a moment of panic. Mystique is just passed out, so she doesn't need to poop. You can see this actually takes a decent amount of time to do. I'm really glad Northern Lion has to do it, especially after he just pooped. You can see how he doesn't even enjoy his own brand. I guess some of this, you can see, yeah, the oxalite slowly withers away. We had several more blocks here, but as they emit the oxygen, they slowly die. So now Mystique is doing research. Of course we can... Oh, skill increase. Mouth, good job, buddy. I imagine his athletics just went up. Right? Athletics is now at 2. Good job, man. Yeah, I can play around with the... See, oh, we need more algae for these. Only this one's running. So... It's like half this room is carbon dioxide. That's pretty dangerous. So I wonder if I built a ladder up and then built tiles over top of this, because the carbon dioxide, let's see here, details. Doesn't tell us like it's molecular mass or whatever. But I mean, it's lighter than the oxygen. So if I build a wall on top of it to kind of separate it, I think that might work. And then there's a lot of oxygen going on in here. But before we do that, we've got a new duplicant. And they print them. The printing pod. That's what this doohickey is. So I am going to do this. Now the thing is, you might say, no, I don't want somebody right now. You might want to wait, because then it means you need to produce more food. You need to produce more oxygen. You need to have another bed. There's more people using the toilet, etc., etc. But at the same time, there's one more hand to maybe help progress things along. We can't shuffle these. Basically, we can pick one of three, or we can just reject them. Although I've never rejected all, so I don't know. Maybe it would give me some other options, or it might just say, no, tough luck. Let's see. What do we need? Athletics is okay, but like whatever. You don't have much else going for you. Irritable bowel. Ralph. Hey. Hideki. It seems to be pretty good. Bottomless stomach though. So calorie burn rate. Basically, Hideki's gonna consume more food. Level 1 architect. That's pretty cool. It's most proficient with construction. Not really though. You're just +1 at everything. But I kind of like that. Early on in games like this, sometimes I like to have just people that can pretty much do anything. They might be jack of all trades, master of none, but you know what? Let's do it. I don't know. It's like I want to name them after various NLSS people, but they don't really kind of. I mean, Rob has long hair. Let's imagine Rob put a bun, put it in a bun. That might look okay. So I'm just gonna do alpaca patrol like that. He's not an architect, I'll tell you that right now, but you know what? In terms of looks, you look pretty close. I don't know. It's yeah, so we're gonna print him. I'm gonna print you, Rob. We need more to get more of this going on. I forgot. Don't want people sitting by idly. So I'm gonna quickly try to I gotta get algae. So what I'm gonna do is build a ladder, and then I'm gonna say dig for sure. Kind of like here. And then we'll put down a floor right across here. And we'll see if that that works. Looks like the oxygen is kind of. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hit C, which is the shortcut for cancel, and then I'm gonna go back to dig, and we're gonna dig up there instead to really make sure we get above it. And then they can jump down. It should for sure keep the carbon dioxide contained in there. I think. That's my assumption. So you can see we've got this guy's producing some gas. Now if we go to organic, what did I say? Contaminated dirt. There we go. Contaminated dirt. So once we have it, it'll show up. Which I guess is okay in a way. And then we need to sweep this up though. So there we go. Mystique is getting her run on. And you can see now that with the super gun, you don't have to be like right next to the water to get it. I will just, for ease of whatever, as the water level goes down, we'll get some more of that going on. Mouth is making food. How's the general oxygen? Breathable, it's pretty good in here. Even down here, it's pretty good. Can somebody clean that up? I'm gonna make that a pretty high priority. Alright. Rob is... Oh. So, we have 3 cots. I need to build a 4th one for Rob. It's under furniture, my bad. So we'll just, you know, assign that. Or not assign it, but we'll build it. We'll let them build it as they please. Let's just get going on a little bit faster. Alright, and you can see the batteries, since they're charged up throughout the night, we're producing oxygen, which is great. Yeah, it's just great. Wake up, everybody. There we go. Oh, fudge. I've got to actually remove the contaminated from all 3. My bad. There we go. Did we not get it? Sweep it. What does this guy need? Fabricate more? Alright, let's do it. Actually, I'm going to go to the research tab and just see 12 out of 20. Not too bad. Once we do that, then we're going to get these things. We'll have, you know, a better battery, or a larger battery at least. Power switch and a wire bridge. Yeah, these things will be useful in time, but really I'm more interested in getting combustion going on. Let's do this. We don't have any lice loaf, as far as I know. Organic. It would show up in organic. We get lice loaf when this mealwood plant grows in full, and then we harvest it. We get that good shit. Okay, so this has been built. At least they did something. Alright, we're getting water. Building that ladder. What's Robbie doing? He's putting the contaminated dirt there. That's good. Basically, I just want that kind of further away from stuff for now. I'd like it to be its own separate room at some point. Alright, good job, Rob. Now somebody go do this dirt stuff. Mystique is taking a nice little nap. And now you're gonna go take... No, I was gonna assume take a poop. We're gonna build this bed, and this is gonna be Rob's bed. He'll be happy. There we go. Now I do want to actually dig down a bit more with this room. And I will do that. Ooh, contaminated. But for now, it's okay. We've got higher priority stuff. Right now, it works. It works. So we're gonna get this algae. Kind of close off this carbon bullshit. Alright, Rob is just eating it straight off the ground. Oh, mouth. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Okay, let's speed this up a little bit. Freaking Ryan, stop sleeping. Tired, work pending. Get up. What we got? Oh. Tip fetching water. Understanding water. Duplicates will seek out and collect water and other liquids up to 2 tiles away. Yep. Alright, that's cool. Northern Lion leveled up and taking a shit. Athletics. Well, I mean, I guess it can be very strenuous on the body. On the butthole. Yeah, I would like somebody to do this. Like, now. I wish I could... There's gotta be like a click and drag to set priority on all this stuff. Actually, you know what? I should be able to click on somebody. Stats, info, details. Has not been assigned a dining area, clinic. There's got to be a way to make somebody just like do certain actions. I'm sure there is, and maybe I'm just I'm missing it. Vitals. Let's take a look at vitals. Stress, pretty good for that. Fullness, not too shabby. We can change this, right, to, you know, until full, which is 1,000 apparently. We get reports for each cycle too, just to show, you know, generation removed. So we're actually using more oxygen than we're producing, which is kind of shitty. Alright. This is almost done though. Okay, and Mouth is getting in on the action too. So what I'm gonna do, just to be safe, we're actually gonna put the tile there. Even though half of it kind of seems oxygen, there's some carbon dioxide sitting in there as well. And once we build this, we can start digging out this algae and it'll fall onto the tile here. And then eventually we can kind of come around there. Research. Oh my goodness. Don't want to be slow on that. Rob. How's it going, buddy? We should probably clean it. 11 more visits remaining. Okay, so we can wait a little bit before it needs maintenance. We need to produce some more. But I think we've got some editables in here. Got the mush bars. So I'm going to try and keep an eye on that. Of course, I'll forget. And then we'll run out of food. But basically, I want people doing some other stuff right now before they continue making more food. So we're going to dig out this and this for sure. And get this algae stored, because we'll use it, you know, for the oxygen producers for sure. Alright, you can see there's some kind of some of the carbon dioxide is seeping around. Research complete. Cool beans. Let's open this up. So now we've got this. I'm gonna try and get the novice research done, but then there's also intermediary research, and we need a supercomputer to do that. So we'll get that going. Oopsies. After, but at least let's get the novice stuff done. And I want to dig that out. Then I'll be able to build this, and then dig that out, build that. Oh, wait, Robbie. Athletics, nice job. He's holding his breath. That's an athletic thing, right? Holding breath. There's world records for that. Skill increase again. Malf with the Tinker now at 1. Oh, sorry. Malf got Learning at 1, and Northern Lions got the Tinker. He likes to tinker with his dink. Okay, good job. You can see there's still some carbon dioxide in here, which sucks. We're going to be able to get research that's... You can filter gases and liquids. So at some point, I'll basically filter out all the carbon dioxide, put it in a special area. But for now, this is basically what we got to do. Okay, it's nighttime. I'm gonna get one more, you know, thingy. We're gonna get one more day going, and then I think we'll call it for this episode. Just wanted to get a bit of a start going on. Oh, also a good stretch. Oh, yeah. Alright, so let's see what nonsense we get up to. Job mouth. Ryan's getting some algae out of there, and you can see he's putting it into these dudes to produce more oxygen. I like it. I like it a lot. Alpaca patrol, just sitting there eating. Alright. You can see there's carbon dioxide there. But it seems to be staying over there, right? So that's good. And we have isolated a good chunk of it. It's only a few cells here. So I guess we could even try to isolate it even more. We have 3 people that are idle. So, what is the smartest thing to do? We could build another research station. That's going to require more power. But I think that's going to be pretty important early on. Oh, also, since we finished that other research, you can see now we have the wire bridge, power switch, and the battery stores most of the runoff power from the generators, but loses charge over time. So they're both the same, but this guy, let's see. Capacity is 40 kilojoules. Heat is plus 4 watts. Decor minus 15. This is only 10 kilojoules. So this takes up 1 block wide, whereas this takes up 2. But it has... basically, we're getting double the capacity in the same space. So that's good to consider. It's more efficient, essentially. But for now, what we've got going on, these guys are fine. I might want to get... It says insufficient oxygen. Your colony has produced 46.8 kilograms of oxygen today. Your duplicates have consumed 52 kilograms today. So you know what? I think I just want to get that to go away. So we're just going to plunk that guy there. Let them build that. And we'll turn this back on too, because we've got idle hands. They're the devil's plaything, right? He likes to jerk his chicken. And speaking of chicken, it's meal time. Muck root? Where'd we get the muck root? Huh. Well, that's fine with me. Now, what do we got? We got a lot of breathable gas in here. Maybe what we do... I gotta start thinking about actually making these rooms a little bit more formalized. So what I'm gonna do is dig to... We want them 4 tall. So I'm gonna go... like that. This bottom one here is going to be the actual floor. We got 4 spaces in between floor, and then up here actually I want to have a ceiling as well. I'm not going to worry about that for now because they're not walking on the ceiling. But we'll move these beds down, we'll move the toilet down, we'll move all this stuff. And hey dudes, very important to keep this going. You're getting water. Oh, and power. Where's my electrical wire? There we go. Nice and simple. Steak's having fun. Like, you feel really good. One, you're getting a workout, and 2, you're providing electricity for the whole rest of the colony. So it's just like, it's a win-win situation. Yeah, it's tricky work, you know, it's exhausting. But you'd feel good about it. You're like, I'm contributing to this colony, and I'm making myself stronger and more fit. So when we gotta fight stuff, I'm good to go. Or I can just run away and all the others will die. Alright, what's Malf doing? He's shooting Ryan's butt. I think he was filling this up, but now we need to actually build the power. It just looks like Ryan's looking at this machine shit. He's just like so fascinated with it. He's sniffing it in. Alright, Malf, you gotta go poo poo. I won't look. Oh, look at the little the pine air freshener though. That's a nice touch. And I didn't even notice this before. You've got a gauge here that shows its fullness. So we can wait a few more notches and then we can kind of clean it out before it just totally breaks. Mystique, you gotta go poo poo too? Sorry, it's a little stinky in there. Okay, this needs to be like just done now. Rob is a madman. In my room, one of my remote colonies, I'm pretty sure he was like a main researcher too. He just likes to read his books. In this case, you know, synthesize different thingies and you get a little graph going on there. Yo, this guy is actually ready to be harvested. That's pretty cool. I'll leave it for now, but we should harvest it. We get the meal lice, which is something we can use to make food out of and doesn't put the duplicates at risk of diarrhea. My butt. You can see this thing's slowly pumping out the gas, right? Slightly toxic. So we are going to want to section this off at some point. Actually, we'll probably get something that's better than an outhouse, but you know. Get that. Actually, how are we doing on that? All right. Halfway there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we definitely want to tile down there. For now, I'm just gonna clean that up. And you can see why I want to get combustion early on. Mouth is tired. And it's just taking a person away from doing stuff. We might even need to get a second wheel going on because the more stuff we add, the greater the power demand. Yes, I know you guys want some decor, and you will get it, but there are more important things right now. I think. Alright, they're picking up all sorts of good stuff. Water down there. More metals. Here you can see some of the, yeah, abyssalites. It's resilient crystalline elements. Melting point is crazy high. Hardness nearly impenetrable. Solid material special details. Oh, now we're looking on water. It's like, what? You can drink this stuff? I don't know what we use it for. I'm sure we'll find out at some point. It's temperature. Wow, that's cold. Wait. How cold is that's like absolute zero, isn't it? Or close to. I thought it was negative 273.15 Celsius was absolute zero. Maybe I'm thinking, or is it 272? Huh. I thought there was a 3 in there. This is granite. This is iron ore. Oh, hello. We've got some slime, which we can actually, you know, produce some other stuff from slime. I think we can convert slime into algae or something. Ooh, gold amalgam. Gold amalgam. This guy, can't wait to fight you. Rob looks like a little sad. How? Because Ryan took his research job. Alright, they clean that up now. Let's just set this as like a reminder as the baseline. That's where the floor is going to go. So we give ourselves 4 tiles high. Maybe that's not like a good thing to do. Maybe we only should be doing... Well, I don't know. This guy's 4 tiles high. I just feel like that's a good standard. You know? Oxygen. We got some carbon dioxide over here. Like, is it... Did it kind of fall over here slowly? Maybe. It's okay though. You can see oxygen. We're actually producing more than we're using now. Otherwise, there would be the thing. But we do have idle hands, and I do not like that. Fabricate for sure. And let's just say, let's get some more of this stuff going. Okay. We can get somebody making food, but I think, as you can see, oopsies, we got enough for now. We can look at the green bar. Oh, but that's that cycle. So I'm a man of my word. Normally I'd be like, well, one more day. But I don't want to get too crazy in this first episode. I need to step back, get some of your input, you know, and start looking at this myself, and get a little bit of an agenda going for the next one to kind of keep myself on track. I need to do that a lot of times with games like these, where prioritization is so fundamental to the gameplay. It's really fun. Again, if you've played RimWorld, I would probably and you enjoyed it, I would probably recommend it on that alone. Like I said, it does have a bit more of the Fallout Shelters vibe going on as well, because it's not top down. It's kind of like, you know, we're not really in a vault per se, but there's still many of the same elements of that, the power production and whatnot. It's pretty cool. It's great art style, I think. I don't know if I can objectively say that. I think subjectively, though, I think it's fun. You know, it's simple, but you know, the different materials, they have different designs and stuff. So it's so far I'm enjoying it. For $21 or $22 Canadian, I think it's like $20 American. It's been well worth it, even just for the first few hours. So I'm excited to see where I can get this little colony going, and what I can learn and apply to future colonies, so they don't they aren't quite as inefficient as this, possibly. You know, it seems to me like we're doing okay, but you know, within a game, you after 10 more hours or 20 hours or 100 hours, you're like, oh man, I was such an idiot, I can't believe I did that. So that may be the case here, but everybody's alive, so that's gotta be okay. So I'm going to see you guys in the next episode, I hope. If you did like it, please hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. But whatever you do, just let me know what you liked or disliked about the video. If you don't want to do that, you could just tell me what you ate today, or what you drank, or what you're doing right now. I just like to know what you guys are up to as well. But yeah, that's gonna do it. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and hit that little bell beside the subscribe button, so you know when new episodes are out there. But that's all I gotta say. Thank you very much for hanging out, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, peace out.